Hey guys, so here's part 3 of the 3.6 notes. We are once again solving by completing the square. Now, what I would like you to do is go and pause this video and try this problem on your own. Okay, let's see how you did. Okay, so remember we have our ax squared, our b, and then our c. So the first step is to move the constant to the right side. In this case, our 8, which is the constant, I need to move that over. To do that, I will need to subtract. So 5 equals to negative 8. Okay, next step. We need to create a perfect square trinomial. So I have my x squared minus 10x plus, we always do a plus, we are always adding, equals negative 8 plus. So in order to know what I'm going to add to both sides, I need to use the formula. So b divided by 2 squared. In this case, our b is negative 10. So I plug that into my formula. So I have negative 10 divided by 2 squared. I evaluate, I get negative 5 squared, and then that will give me 25. So I'm going to add 25 to both sides. I'm trying to equal out my two sides of the equation. Okay. So then after that, we go ahead and we factor. So I have x squared minus 10x plus 25, and I do negative 8 plus 25, I think that gives me 17, not negative 17, not regular 17. There we go. Now, let's list out all the numbers that multiply to 25. That's going to be 1 and 25, 5 and 5. Now, which pair, if I added or subtracted them, will get me to a negative 10? Well, let's divide by 5 and 5. Remember, since our a value is 1, I go ahead and do x and x. Now, if I'm adding up to a negative 5 or negative 10, I need negative 5 on both of these. So now I rewrite this as x minus 5 squared because I have the same exact factors. So I just rewrite it. Okay, after that, I go ahead and take the square root on both sides. So I have x minus 5 squared equals 17. To undo that square, we square root because they are opposites. They cancel each other out. Okay, I'm left with x minus 5. Now, with the 17, is that a perfect square? No. Is there a perfect square that can go into it evenly? Not necessarily. 1 can, but that's not going to help us simplify. 4 can't go into it, 9 can't go into it, and 16 can't go into it. So we leave it as is. So I have x minus 5 equals, don't forget your plus minus sign, square root of 17. Okay, the last step is to solve for x. Okay, so I have x minus 5 equals plus minus square root of 17. I'm going to add 5 to both sides. Don't forget, we do not add that to the 17 to make 22. They are not like terms. Instead, anytime I add or subtract that number to the right-hand side, I'm always going to place it in front of the plus minus sign. So it'll be 5 plus or minus square root of 17, and that's my final answer. Okay, I do want to talk about this. We've kind of saw it a little bit in the square root, or when we took the square root on both sides, those notes. What happens if, let's say we solve, right, and we get, so let's say we have, I don't know, x minus 6 squared equals, and we get plus minus 4. Okay, so we're here, we did the completing the square, we got to this point, okay, oops, it shouldn't be squared, it should just be x minus 6. So let's say we have x minus 6 equals plus or minus 4, okay. Let's say we get here and we are solving, okay. If I add 6 to both sides, Now, what is this saying? This is not going to give me plus minus 10. No, 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 no. Be careful. What this represents is I'm actually doing, because remember, plus minus means a positive 4 and a negative 4. So if I'm adding 6 to both of those values, I'm not going to get plus minus 10. Instead, if I do 4 plus 6, that is going to give me 10. But if I have negative 4 plus 6, that's going to give me 2. So be careful when you just have values that you can actually combine. You have to add and subtract, okay? So if we had it where it was a little bit different, like I'll do x, let's do plus 3 equals plus or minus 2, okay? If we had this, I would subtract 3, but I would not have plus minus negative 1. No, 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 no. What this is really saying is, because remember, this is a plus 2 and a negative 2. I will have 2 minus 3. That does give me negative 1. But my other answer is going to be negative 2 minus 3. That gives me negative 5. Okay? So be careful when you are adding or subtracting integers that you actually have to go all the way out and add and subtract them to get your two different solutions. Okay, make sure you guys work on your homework assignment, and if you have any questions, make sure you contact me. I'll see you guys later.